I love old tools, especially if they can save me time. This vintage AMMCO caster camber gauge can give me accurate results even if my suspension is hanging and unloaded. We use it at the shop here all the time. Let me explain how it works and why it's a time saver before we go to the alignment rack. All right, so I made a short video the other day. It was like 30 seconds long. It's also on Instagram Reels. The outpouring of comments was overwhelming. And so let me just show you a little bit more about this thing, hopefully try and clear up some misunderstandings that some folks had. So this little baby right here has been in our shop a long, long time. Made by AMMCO. It's so worn down you can barely read it, but I believe that says model 2500. Uses a strong magnet on this side to go up against the hub. And these dials right here are for camber and caster. We don't use this as our alignment. We use this before and after we tear apart our suspension. The reason we can use it with hanging suspension, with it not loaded, the vehicle's weight is not on here right now, is these dials. And I'll bring you in here so you can see this. So here's how I use it all the time. Get it flat on my hub. I'm going to look at the bubble right here. And I'm going to use my dial to bring the bubble in the center. There it is. See it? Boom. Okay. That tells me where my reading is at right now. I realize my suspension is hanging and the vehicle's weight is not on it. So now that I have this set, I'm going to not touch my dials. I'm going to take it back off the hub, and now I'm going to do my work. Put this back on. After everything is reassembled, if I need to, there might be slots in here. There might be, cammed bolts that you can have in here to make your adjustments for your camber. I just put it back where it was before I do the work. Then I know it's reassembled correctly, and then we go to the alignment rack. And now you might be thinking, well, how did that save you any time at all? Well, the truth is, I would rather put this thing all back together knowing that it's in the same spot that it was before I disassembled it and took it all apart. And it's easier to make those adjustments here with the wheel off and everything out in the open than it is over in the alignment rack. So that's why it's easier to do it here. Now, there are cheaper versions of this tool that are out there for sale. They might be made of plastic, or they might use suction cups instead of a magnet or something like that. They work too. We don't use ours for taking caster swings, just for taking a camber reading. It is different than using just a level with the bubbles though, because you have the dials to be able to compensate. So that's why I like this one a lot. All right, now we can pull onto the rack and we can know that our readings should be right back where they were before we did the work. It really only cost me about 90 seconds. Now we can do the final alignment, and I know that it was easier to make those adjustments beforehand instead of having to reach back up in there where it's all dark and hard to get in, up inside there. Hey, so hopefully you found this video helpful, and hopefully it cleared up some misunderstandings as to what that tool is, why we use it here at the shop, how it works, things like that. And yeah, it's not the only way. There's many, many ways to be able to do what we did just now, but it's how we choose to use vintage tools, and I dig it. I think it's pretty cool. Hey, just a reminder, I don't interact with the comment section here on YouTube directly, but if you want to chat with me, I'm over at Instagram. It's @flannel_Philip, and we can chat there. So thanks so much for supporting the channel, everybody. I truly appreciate each one of you. If you like what you see, you know what to do. You don't need me to beg you for it. Peace and grease.